Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're joining us at a fun time. Rijeka is about to proceed to the playoff to most likely play Midtjylland. So, it's 40 seconds left around that time, and there's a corner for Rijeka, so the time wasting is going perfectly. But yeah,
Famous last words.
now watch them go on a counter and score. I swear to God. But yeah, what do you want to start with, Richard? Should we start with Rijeka and Ilves?
Well, we're probably better not, given that things could very much change in the next 30 seconds. So we
Wait.
start with Dinamo.
Okay, you start. I'm gonna post a graphic.
So yeah, Dinamo are in the playoff, which we all sort of knew because obviously they thrashed Canal Zalgiris in the first leg.
Yeah,
They go in without, well, I say without their first choice goalkeeper. It's possibly the wrong thing to say about Filipovic because he's not really been
Filipovic. Yeah,
that
he's
good.
not the first choice. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's
basically a 50-50 at this point.
yeah, Nevetic is better, but obviously I think they're still just managing his fitness because of his
Yeah,
long-term back stuff. And either or is just till whoever they bring in. They're just sort of keeping pace for now. And obviously that's been Livakovic, but it doesn't look like it's going to be Livakovic. Then it might have been Katarski, and it doesn't look like it's going to be Katarski.
yeah,
So yeah, it looks like we're going to be going into play Viking with probably Nevetic in goal as the senior goalkeeper in the squad, really the only senior goalkeeper in the squad.
well,
Um,
Zagorets is there.
well, yeah, I mean he's always been there, isn't he? I don't think he was in the he wasn't in the squad, so he's not in the A list. So
Oh,
they will have to.
got another one.
I would imagine they'll have to pull someone from the B list in
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Zagreb is in the A list. Can't if Zagreb plays, then they have to reduce the A list by one
yeah,
as he's not club grown.
yeah.
Um,
Rijeka is through, by the way, just to
Hooray!
confirm that.
um, but yeah, they've got to play Viking in the playoff. Who, on one hand, you sort of think we don't really know too much about them because
Yeah.
we're not the Elite Syrian podcast, but at the same time, they beat Bodo Glimt to win the title, so they must be
Yeah,
pretty good.
by just 1 point, by the way. It was very close. But
Yeah.
yeah, they beat their leagues in Scandinavia basically run throughout the whole year. So they're in the middle of their season right now, and they're
hmm
still fighting for the title again.
Yeah. So I mean, it's quite hard to say how good they are because ultimately we're only going off their form against really one team to compare them against in Bodo Glimt, but
Yeah,
we know Bodo
it's a
Glimt's
good
good.
team.
It's
It's
a
a
good
good
team.
team.
Yeah.
It's a good team to compare them to. But yeah, I mean, we can't really talk about much against Kauno Žalgiris because it was
Yeah.
the quality difference was too much, and the first game was just a battering that 18 plus should have been restricted viewing.
hmm Yeah. And I mean, even with 10 men, Kauno were not
Yeah,
the better side in the
no, they
second
had
leg.
some chances, but it was nothing. It was nothing too appropriate. There was like one chance that Filipovic had, not Filipovic, sorry, Nevistic had to
hmm
save. But yeah, Filipovic's red card. I mean, there's not much of a touch, but there is the slight inkling that he got him, which is enough. But still, what a decision to make at 7-0.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I mean, even just take the concession and go on to the next leg. But you, you know, already when you know the team's looking elsewhere to find a goalkeeper, you need to not make a rash decision like that. And possibly, that's one with sort of mental pressure about having to keep himself ahead of Nevetic. But
Yeah,
yeah, you've just given it up now. I would imagine that, that's probably him uh, rule himself out, not just for both legs, but also for whatever's going on domestically in between as well, because Nevetic needs the reps.
yeah, yeah. Now they play Rudesh tomorrow when or today when this is released. So yeah, it's pretty much. just it's gonna be Nevestic now until most likely it looks like Kotarski is the number one target. Index has reported that there are two other goalkeepers that they are looking at, but it looks like Kotarski is the main one, judging by. So it looks like a loan deal, and Copenhagen has today signed a new goalkeeper, which shows you that they're ready to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue for Dinamo is and has always been that they need someone who is club eligible for the squad requirements. That's why it's
Yeah,
yeah, it was Kotarski, obviously Livakovic. Horcasters is another one who's been linked. You know, it's sort of playing that chess with how they compile their squad.
yeah,
But yeah, they've got to beat Viking. I mean, I think the thing with Viking is they're not a side I'm familiar with. They've not really got any names that people will be familiar with either. I think the one I know most is Veton Berisha, but it's primarily a domestic, sorry, primarily a Norwegian squad building.
yeah,
We'll we'll see. They've not
yeah,
obviously they come in at this round, so they've not beaten anything to get here.
yeah. They're lucky with the coefficient, essentially. But their star player is Zlatko Tripic, who obviously a very Balkan name. Uh, but yeah, 6 goals, 13 assists so far this year with Viking. But Jesus Christ, like he's a striker. Well, a number 10. More of a number 10 on the can also play on the wings. So yeah, looks like that he's the main threat. But other than that, as you said, Berisha is probably the guy that a
The
lot of
people
us, yeah,
familiar
could
with, yeah.
could realize.
And I think that's probably one thing that sort of says is, they're quite an old squad. Obviously, Tripic is 32, sorry, Tripic is 33, Berisha is
33
32.
free.
So it's not necessarily going to be the paciest. You look at what they did in Europe last season, bearing in mind we know obviously they went on to win the league. Thrashed Copper, but again, that's not really telling of anything at this level. But then
Yeah,
lost reasonably easy to Istanbul Basaksehir, who after we sort of mentioned just before we came on, were knocked out by Interturku of Finland. So possibly that's saying that maybe they're not up too much at this level, but we will see. I mean, I think they've not really had a proper scalp in Europe since
yeah,
22-23. They knocked out Sparta Prague, and obviously that's not really relevant now.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's Dinamo is obviously the favorite. I think the thing that goes against them is that they have to get a good lead heading into the second leg, because playing on artificial turf has always proven for Dinamo to be tough.
Hmm.
This season, 2-away, it was the first game of the season. Still, we can go back to Bodo Glimt, what, like 3 years ago now, or
Yeah,
4. Very tough first leg, lost that, and then you come back in the home leg, which was brilliant. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough away day. But you gotta, if you can get a 2 or 3 or even a 3 goal lead at the maximum, you're set.
yeah, and ultimately, what we've seen probably so far, really in Champions League qualifying, is that there have been shocks. So you can't go into that with any complacency. I know they wouldn't anyway,
Yeah,
but so we saw on Tuesday uh, in Belgrade what happens if you don't prep properly
yeah,
or whatever. You see insanity go on, and it's not just Dinamo. You might come around in 2 weeks' time, and Dinamo aren't in, and Celje are. The only side in the region in the Champions League is, let's be honest, Slovenian Diddies in comparative size. No, I know, I know, I shouldn't talk about that because obviously you know how much I cover of Slovenia, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. They're a side with the ambition to get to the level of Dinamo and Zvezda in
yeah,
terms of the relevance, but obviously they're nowhere near there right now. Um, but so there is certainly a chance that smaller sides will be getting through.
yeah.
it's just win however you can really. I mean, my main focus, as you probably know from who I was doing stuff for last year, is that the side I support have drawn the side I was working for, um, which, hmm, um,
Huh.
that's interesting. Um,
You need a scout report on Celtic? Ah, can't do that, mate.
yeah, no.
You want to know our biggest weakness? Nothing.
I mean, yeah, we have lots of weaknesses, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And now I sense a very good segue to Hajduk. Nico
Yes,
Sigur linked to Celtic
again,
again,
we should add.
again.
I very much enjoyed the Sports University report on it yesterday because they said Brendan Rodgers was still Celtic manager. Um,
Yeah, and he was the main guy in the picture, by the way.
yeah, yeah, it's like, yeah, you just go on Wikipedia, guys. Um,
Just
but
just Google Brendan Rodgers. You're gonna see he's not.
yeah,
He's without he is without a job still, right?
uh, he went to Saudi.
Oh, he did, of course.
Yeah, which I think for Celtic fans, in their opinion of Brendan Rodgers, is absolutely in character.
Why is
Um,
the first picture I open Brendan Rodgers in, how do I put it, in a Saudi getup, in a Saudi outfit from The
because it's
Independent?
Brendan Rodgers.
Okay,
That's you don't need to ask the question. It's him.
fair.
Um, yeah, I think it's an interesting one. I think it's dependent on other bits of business. I think obviously we've got Alistair Johnson as our right back at the moment. He's been linked to Everton. That seems to have gone quiet, but I would have
And
thought,
Johnston just got injured. I saw today.
yeah. Um, and I would have thought if you're bringing in Sigo, you probably actually bring him in as a right back replacement rather than necessarily utility guy in midfield to do because in terms of the midfield, he would be a backup. Um,
Yeah,
if we're honest, and particularly we've just spent I think about 7 million on Mika Bar from Paderborn as well.
yeah,
So it'd be interesting. Say it's obviously a player that we've been interested in for a little while. I don't think it's a bad fit. Um, I think I like to go good energy, really good engine, and that is something that Celtic haven't necessarily had in the middle of the park. Or he's not a player who makes the side more lethargic, and Celtic often are quite lethargic. Uh, and he will put a tackle in, which is again,
yeah.
I think a pretty common criticism of the Celtic midfield. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, and I mean, Hajduk are looking for around 4 million. I doubt they'll get it. Probably more around the 3 millionaire area, and probably a bonus or hopefully a sell-on clause, which Hajduk
Hmm.
isn't known for putting into transfers. Vuskovic. But yeah, hopefully we can just get money because God knows we need it if we don't make it to Europe.
Yeah, and like I say, it's the sort of thing you need a sell-on clause because if you go into Celtic, it's 18 months, then England.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a big move. It's if he actually performs and does good. That's
Exactly.
like Juranovic, for example.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, Hajduk. Let's focus on Europe for now,
They're basically through.
which they're basically through 5-2 in the first leg against the Žalgiris Vilnius. Easy, just again same thing as Dinamo, the other Kauno Žalgiris, the basketball team turned football team. Pretty much the same thing, except this is Hajduk, where they make a mistake and they concede. The second goal, though, from Tsapan was beautiful. That
Yeah,
free kick, uh, him and Shego just beautiful free kicks. But yeah, Šotiček showed up, showed his quality, and Šutalo has against Žalgiris in the first leg and against Istra, which we'll get to, showed that he is a much better fit than Bamba, which who saw that coming?
yeah. I think he's more ready now than I think we expected he would be in general, but like you say, he's done enough to put himself in the reckoning ahead of established players, which is really what you needed in that position, having gotten rid of Dudov.
Yeah, and he's starting against Žalgiris tonight. So in an hour, the match starts. This podcast will be over by then. We're counting on Hajduk going through. If that doesn't happen, this whole episode gets scrapped, and I do my own in the morning with like a 40-minute rant and a 10-minute review of everything else. But yeah.
Comment below if that's what you'd rather have than this.
If this releases. But yeah, it's hopefully it doesn't happen. But knowing Hajduk, we've seen Xira, we've seen everything.
Yeah.
Žalgiris is just another. It's not even the worst that has happened to Hajduk. It would be like fifth in the list in the last, just in the last 15 years.
Yeah, yeah, but it won't happen. It won't. Tomorrow morning, this clip, it happened.
I'm gonna just pull this clip into before I start.
And then Richard, that fucking guy.
He just had to jinx us. It wasn't our fault. It was his.
I mean, yeah, I think we sort of had the little conversation. It sort of goes on to Rijeka as well. Really, obviously,
Yeah.
Rijeka are looking at the playoff. Hajduk should be looking. Yeah, obviously, you can't look past these 90 minutes, but it should be looking at the playoffs. And that's really the only two important games between here and the end of August. Because as you alluded to, it's 8 million in the bank, is it? Something like that. The qualification. Once you sort of add in gate receipts and things like that.
Yeah, well, first, I mean, at the end, it's gonna be like I think in total because you obviously do get something like from UEFA's is like some value poll where everybody
Yeah.
gets at the end from TV revenue, but that's at the end of the tournament when everybody's places are known.
Well,
But
you also get it based on your seeding as well. So
yeah,
Dinamo,
yeah,
because Svezia got knocked out, they get an
they
extra
they get
million as well.
Yeah, just under a million. But yeah, pretty much. I think it's I think it's 3.5 maybe for qualification if I remember correctly. But then obviously if you draw and win, you get more. And Hajduk is most likely gonna probably win 2 games, draw 1, and that should be enough to get you through into at least the knockout playoff. Which that's 2 more games. That's 1 more game at home, another sold out Poljud most likely. That's 4 games at Poljud sold out, and if you go through that, that's even more. But yeah, I think in total it's gonna come around 7 or 8. Yeah.
But you got to get past probably Rakow first.
Yeah, Rakov is leading right now. It's halftime in that game. We should know by the end of this episode, which is
Unless it
going
goes
to
to
be
extra time, yeah.
Yeah, unless it goes to extra time, we should know who they'll be facing. But it's pretty much whoever Hammarby turns it around, or Rakov stays in the lead. They're still the favorites by far.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously they have a couple of names that are familiar to us: Franturo, Marco Bulat, Mahir Emreli as well.
Marco Bulat has been dropped from the squad because of his how did I put it? Because of his personality issues.
Right.
Yeah, there was one clip that a Polish broadcaster posted after their match they lost on the weekend, where Bullet was just strolling around, not pressing, not doing anything, just moving around. Oh, there's the ball. Oh, there's the ball. There it goes, another pass, and just watching along, not doing anything. Yeah. So
which explains why he's at Rakow. I mean, I think so in the grand scheme of ecosystem of football, good sides in the extra class are a little bit better than good sides in HNL. I think it's probably fair to say.
Yeah, we're talking about the extra class of it has that extra class. I'll leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope I don't lose. But yeah. And as I say, so the names they've got from the league are fine enough.
From what they could have got, this is probably the best draw they could have got.
Yeah, exactly. And Rijeka have done reasonably well in Europe. Obviously, last year they reached the last 16, where they're
Yeah.
beaten by Fiorentina. But you sort of look at the results in the group, then beating. I mean, everyone beat Rapid Vienna, but they beat Rapid Vienna 4-1. Omonia, Zrinski, and Craiova. They went unbeaten through the league phase.
Yeah.
So, and they beat Zilina in qualifying as well, 6-1, which is a
Oh
bit
yeah.
more
Yeah.
comfortably than Hajduk managed. Um, So I would think the slight favourites. The only thing you sort of add, and possibly this is sort of linked to what you've just intimated about Bulat, is that they've not won in the league yet. This
Yeah.
well, two defeats in the league this season so far. I don't know how they're prioritising stuff, and let's be honest, Heido can't do much better, which we'll get onto. But yeah, it's. I think this is the thing. You obviously coming in and trying to talk about these before you fully know the
Yeah.
ramifications, and we end up sort of making guesses on vibe, really. Um,
Yeah. And on the current result.
yeah, yeah. In terms of Rijeka, who obviously are through, they have
Midtjylland.
Midtjylland, who are still playing at the minute, but
It's 4-0.
yeah, against Bohemians of League of Ireland. Not a surprise there, really. Um, and obviously, we've seen them pretty recently as well.
Yeah, we saw them against Dinamo and absolutely trashed Dinamo back
Yep,
in January, was it?
yeah, yeah. It was the last game, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely trashed Dinamo. Just a very good side. Obviously, the name you'll immediately recognize in their squad is Martin Erlich, Croatian international. Sadly, has been called up to the past three tournaments, I think, with Croatia. So
Hmm.
two World Cups, one Euro, hasn't made a single minute of an appearance, which
Yeah,
is actually a record for for a Croatian to have that many games at tournaments and have 0 minutes.
yeah. But obviously their whole deal is, you bring players in, move them on,
Yeah,
having improved them quite a bit, and much like Nordjylland have been exceptional. I think that Valkyrie have probably been better than Nordjylland at it in terms of the consistency that they've been able to keep with it. Like
yeah,
you say, obviously say Ehrlich as one, but that's hardly the only reasonably well-known player in the squad from the perspective of like the Danes.
yeah,
Guys like Victor Back have been linked with going elsewhere as well. Guys who can take a step up from the Danish league. It's I mean, I would never write off Rijeka. I think sort of what we've seen from all their games so far is that they are pretty solid.
yeah,
And you know, it will be a very difficult tie for Rijeka, but it will also be a very difficult tie for Midtjylland. Then this is Keck we're talking about. He's just kind of set up to not concede, and there's few better at it,
yeah,
as we've seen throughout his career.
yeah. I mean, if we're gonna put it like Michelin is the tougher opponent out of let's say Hajduk, Strakov, or Hammarby.
Mhm.
But Rijeka, I would put more money on Rijeka possibly getting through than Hajduk, just because they have experience, and even last season they played, and they're probably gonna still have Fruk. Which, by the way, Fruk, if he doesn't leave this summer, is gonna sign a contract extension. So yeah, uh, how if he doesn't leave, I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, this has just been a ploy just to increase his wages in Rijeka and be the highest paid player ever in history at the club.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, he deserves it, and it would be good for the league, like overall, to have that caliber of players still playing in the league. Although I don't know how much for him that's better.
Well, I mean, it's sort of similar to almost having Peak Levaya. Obviously we've not
Yeah,
seen that for a couple of years now, but he's that level of talent. Obviously, the difference is that his head's screwed on properly. Um,
He's actually won a title.
yeah, and he's actually won stuff. Yes, that too, and played for Croatia more than
More than one World Cup.
yeah.
Well, he's actually done just one World Cup. Yeah, he wasn't at Euros, I think.
uh,
I don't think he was.
I can't remember now, but
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't annoy Dalic off to just say, just go away, just go
Well,
away.
annoy. Okay, let's. He didn't annoy him. It was more
There
of
were
the
there were reasons. Yeah,
there were reasons.
yeah.
It was
It
more
was
of Dalic's fault.
yeah. He
Let's not
still
get
found
into it.
himself on the permanent shit list anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Dalic did want him to come back. By the way, like I think a year and a half ago now,
mhm,
he did want him to come back, and Levi basically said, "Nah, I'm good."
yeah. Maybe he can get Emirati citizenship. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the quote. Dalic today said that he didn't go to the UAE for money.
but it
I mean,
helps.
yeah, nobody goes to the UAE for money, right? Nobody ever. I have a
I mean,
classmate from high school that went to the UAE. Didn't go for the money, certainly, definitely not.
I think a lot of people went for the money maybe 20 years ago. There's not much opportunity left there now.
Yeah,
Um,
no, you have to have connections to go there now.
yeah, yeah,
You can't just plop down there and boom, you got a job, you make a loads of money, and you live in Dubai. No,
yeah.
now you gotta have connections, which my classmate had. But anyways, we're getting off topic. Let's get to Hajduk's start of the season, shall we? So uh, after losing to Pafos, 4-0, brilliant. But the better side, you'll concede a last minute goal, and then Levi almost wins it for you just a second after kickoff.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm not surprised. It's Pafos, and right now they're beating RB Salzburg very comfortably. So it shows you the level where Pafos are at, and they did deserve to go through because they were just the much better side. Like what Hajduk dominated in the first leg, Pafos did twice that in the
Mhm.
second. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then Hajduk faced Varaždin on the weekend, on the opening weekend, and lost. It was first half was Jesus Christ. Wondered why I was even watching the match and not doing something else like on my phone. I should have been scrolling TikTok. Would have been more fun. But yeah, first half didn't anything didn't happen. Second half though, immediately got started. Sanyuga, who we'll get to, uh, crosses in a good free kick. Mladenovski jumps highest, scores, and then right after Pukstas goes on a run. Varsdin defense is just watching him, just yeah, go along, and he puts it away neatly. And then Hajduk does what Hajduk does. Mistakes. Van
Yeah.
Horenbeek goes to pass back to a goalkeeper after a disastrous ball back from Levaya, by the way, which was
Mhm.
tough to control. But Van Horenbeek gets it, and then he's like, "Oh, he has Marasic on the right, open." And when I say open, Marasic had the whole right hand side of our half his.
Mhm.
Van Horenbeek didn't see that, and he's like, "Let me pass back to Silic." Payasitis in the middle of that, and he hits that ball, aiming for Silic with enough speed, enough velocity for to get it to Silic, but Payasitis right there bounces off, and Mamic gets it, and 2-1. But Haidu had chances
Mhm.
afterwards. First of all, the only real chance was the penalty. Bamba goes down right in front of the referee, who waves it off. Seconds later, he's watching himself in the VAR himself, right behind the tackle, and calls it a penalty, which I think it's peak comedy and really like something out of Seinfeld or any comedy show for that matter. But yeah, penalty. Levi steps up, saved.
Yeah. Which
Varaždin
is,
wins.
if you're writing it, it's the perfect
Yeah,
way to start the season, really.
Yeah, it truly is. It's perfect Hajduk considering everything that went on before.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
whoever wrote that script, congratulations.
yeah. I think, I mean, obviously we'll move on to the Easter game next, but I think possibly what Hajduk's issue is that they're not very good at the back.
Yeah,
I think that's
we're
very
conceding
general.
two. We're basically conceding 2 goals a game now.
Yeah, even against Zagiris.
Yeah,
Um, and we've sort of seen with Barazine, okay, they got knocked out by Jablonec, but you know, they were on the front foot throughout. They
yeah, no,
were
no, like
they
in open play, which they were the better side. They created
yeah,
chances. They deserve to go through in open play. Set pieces, though, Jesus Christ, he conceded 5 set pieces.
yeah.
Four
Um,
actually. Sorry.
enough. And obviously Istra, if you go and just look at that their first week game against Lokomotiva, absolutely fantastic game, really
Yeah,
good fun. But again, they want to get the ball down, they want to play nice football, they want to be offensive, they want to attack, they want to take it to a side, and they're not really, they're impetuous enough to
yeah,
play in that way against Hajduk. And Hajduk, again, absolutely had trouble with that. And again, obviously Van Horenbeck had trouble with that. I mean, obviously we'll get on to VAR decisions there as well. Um, but it's a definite problem now. Is that a question of Garcia hasn't got the meshing yet?
yeah,
Because it shouldn't really be the case because you're playing enough football to have to build those up pretty quickly.
yeah,
Um, Particularly, coming into that game on the back of Paphos, which really the assignment was sit back, be organised. Now, obviously didn't work, but that's what you really should
almost
have been
did.
practicing on.
We
It's,
were 1 minute from it working.
yeah, but it should be the case that that's obviously what you were working on in training.
Yeah, yeah,
So that connection should be what's starting to show, but obviously it isn't.
yeah, yeah. It's been a disastrous game at the back, and that again, I'm gonna get boring with myself and the amount of times I've mentioned it to family, friends, anybody at this point. We need a number 6. We need a defensive midfielder who can
Mhm.
win balls. We have nobody of the sort. Not even the defenders are ball winners.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
speaking of defenders, we are reportedly interested and talking to Denis Hadjika Kunic.
Hajduk
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
He
uh,
was, I mean, he did get on during the World Cup. He was quite
yeah. Just
unlucky.
against Qatar.
Yeah, he was unlucky in the perspective that he got injured midway through last season, and
Yeah,
by that point, it was sort of injured into the playoffs. So by that point, Muramovic and Katic had just locked it down.
yeah,
And I think had Barisic not Adrian Leon Barisic not been injured, Hajduk might not have gone
yeah,
to the World Cup. I think, if we're being honest, but yeah, I think probably the takeaway from that is he is a very good defender. There's no doubt about that. In my estimation, he's absolutely on level with Katic. We saw how well Katic did at the World Cup. Probably he's on a par again with Radelic. Again, we know Radelic is very good at this level,
yeah,
so it's a good get. It's just not necessarily what you need to get. Like you say, you need that. You need the type of player that you've not had since before Japet got injured, which is
yeah.
he's just going to sit there and
Yeah,
sweep things
just
up.
sit there and sweep things up like Salahi did, which we
Mm,
were interested in Salahi, but we have no money. We cannot cover his wages, which have signed him for, which are a lot, and
yeah.
he's barely played. But that's a whole other thing. But yeah, uh, Index has reported that Hajduk are looking into signing a midfielder. Didn't specify which role, so I hope it's the role we've been searching for ever since Rapper's injury, and also another winger which is needed just because depth, and I don't want Bamba on the wings.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I mean, yeah, Hajduk just need that six because, for example, against let's get to Istra immediately. Let's just we gotta go fast. We don't have a lot of time. I want to watch the match at least, and maybe watch us blow it again. But yeah, against Istra, for example, we had Sigur and Payaziti, who are not physically strong. They can read the play, but that's not their specialty. Obviously, it's not what you have them for there for. But a few times they did get the ball back, and how could I? So Hajduk's attacks are keeping the ball, finding space, get a shot off, and losing the ball, and then you get the ball back, but you get the ball back on your half, and you cannot pressure you cannot pressure our opponent time and time again. Well, they did against Žalgiris, but it's Žalgiris. Against Istra, they could not pressure them again and again and again and force them into a mistake because you don't have anybody to win those balls. There were, I think, like two situations where Payasiti and Sigur put in a good tackle and won the ball back at the halfway line of the pitch while Istra was trying to counter, and all of a sudden you have much more space because three Istra players went up for a counter. You take the ball, boom, you can make something,
Yeah, and
which
also
only happened twice.
and also like Easter are not a side you want to lose the ball against just because
Yeah,
they're rapid.
yeah. Thankfully,
And
Istra wasn't that good. They did deserve a draw, obviously,
yeah,
because of they did deserve a penalty. First of all, Van Horenbeck getting a nice elbow to Yaganya's face, which Jesus Christ. When I saw it, I'm like, oh yep, that's getting pulled back. Nope.
I would say Silic is so we lost the ball, and I know the VAR, no, the refs committee said, oh yeah, that was fine. I
No,
thought that
no,
was a penalty too.
yeah, but I think they describe it as not a clear and obvious error, which we've heard many times before for something that is clear and obvious, and for something that
Mm,
is not clear and obvious.
yeah.
But yeah, they said that the referee, because there wasn't enough force, I think that the
Mhm.
ref shouldn't have gotten called back. But with Van Horenbeck, there was
Yeah,
enough
there's
force.
definitely force.
There was definitely force. And they released the audio. Obviously, now we every single time there's a controversial decision that's reviewed by the committee or by the commission, you get to see the audio and the VR screens, and the referee on the field. It was Herzeg, and he was screaming, "Clear! Didn't touch him! Didn't touch him!"
Okay.
So I think the VR said, "You know what? Yeah, probably didn't touch him. Yeah, there's no need to look back at the at the replay. I trust my ref."
Yeah,
RB Salzburg has pulled it back against Pafos, 2-3.
yeah,
Haris Tabakovic hat trick.
as everyone expected.
Yeah, interesting things happening in, in
They
the
just swap
qualifiers.
Bosnians that work for them, really.
And or Croatians.
Yeah, well, mainly Bosnians because obviously Tabakovic for
Yeah,
Begovic in this instance,
yeah.
and then to wherever he
Roko
went.
Šimić,
Yes. Who?
who could come back to Lokomotiva, but let's not make that segue yet.
No.
But yeah, it's yeah, Hajduk just Istra deserved it. Hajduk was, it's tough to say better. They had more of the ball, but they didn't create anything with it. There were a few chances, a few shots from Šutalo, Šotiček, Livaya, uh, that were okay. Nothing threatening college. But yeah, Istra did enough to. It
Yeah.
obviously got lucky with the first goal, but then again, it's it's the wall.
It's
Why are we jumping sideways? Just
yeah.
take it.
I mean, it's like you say, it's very lucky for it to perfectly find the spot between
Yeah,
crotches. Um, but again,
and then
it
then
shouldn't be happening
Silic,
in the first
obviously,
place.
yeah, and so Silic wrong footed can't. I don't think you can blame the keeper there because
No, not at all.
it's because you expect the ball to go, whoop, not whoop, whoop, and
You
hits the
expect the
wall,
goal
and then
the ball to go boink and back
yeah,
away, rather than through. I mean, obviously Fredrickson was very good. Um, I mean, from Istra, I think they've got a really they're really exciting. I think that's the thing to take away. Obviously, I say Fredrik's been very good the first two games. Skafas Susic was excellent against Lokomotiva, not so much, but again,
Yeah,
you've forgiven a 17-year-old for being inconsistent. Saranic has, I think
I hit the
well,
bar. I forgot to
yeah,
say that immediately into the second half. Hit the bar. Very amazing shot.
yeah,
But
I think that's
again, Hajduk's defense.
yeah,
Nobody
you were a
closing
little
him down.
you were a little doubting of the signature as to whether he justified it the step
Yeah,
up again in our preseason one. I think these first two games he's shown absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
they've
It
sort of
just
given him
needs to
free
get
reign.
just needs to get yeah, absolutely free reign. He in the first game he had like inside the first 15 minutes he had 4 shots
Yeah,
from everywhere. Had also a big chance against Lokomotiva in the first round, which he missed from like 11 meters out around that penalty area. But yeah, brilliant. To get, as you said, gets free roam, and it's basically their main guy in attack, which everybody is gonna go through, and
yeah.
he's perfectly fine.
He needs a goal.
Yeah,
It's one of those where I think if he obviously mentioned hit the bar, it was a fantastic shot from 25 yards. If that goes in, that probably sets him off for the next 5 6 weeks of just
yeah,
getting
yeah.
a
And
few goals, a few assists.
he's the type of player who needs confidence, and obviously we saw it says with the you just needed to follow any Croatian football account in Croatia to see his highlights every week, every
Mhm.
weekend, and from the second tier, which were just like Jesus Christ, he's done this again. Which
Yeah,
yeah, he just needs that confidence, and looks like he has it.
yeah. And
And if he
really,
gets a
that's what we
goal,
need.
yeah, and if he gets a goal or anything, then that's another. That's just more. But yeah,
And it
this is a
helps.
young Istra squad, as you said, and if they can get going, they'll get going. But they can't hold that for the entire season, so they're most likely just gonna be mid-table with a few bursts here and there.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, obviously, no one's in any danger of relegation because we already know who's going down.
Yeah,
So shall we move on the one side who's had a worse first couple of weeks than Hajduk?
yeah, and Rudeshar. If anybody was expecting something from the former players of Šibenik, Dragovolja, it's Rudeš. If you were expecting anything from these players, yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
Basically.
I think you know, see, sort of segue this into just talking about Osijek for a second. When we look what you watch Osijek in the first week, they switched strikers at halftime. We had Bilal at the start and Amanda Leon in the second half. Bilal looked exactly how we expected. Um,
Yeah,
Armando Leon looked better, but you were
yeah.
still like, okay, actually, you need to
He's
stick with
like
Kukovic.
he's like the Walmart Mieres,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
And Rudes were terrible, and that helped him look good. I
Yeah,
think it's one of those where, yeah, they win, yeah, they win, they put six past them, but also you don't feel like you've learned anything about how they are
yeah,
from a qualitative perspective. You know, Goritz were fine against them; they weren't really up to much, but um, actually, with them playing Lokomotiva this weekend, that's probably the first time we'll actually know whether any Osijek are actually back. I don't think they are.
well, okay, let's I mean, it's an easy first two games. Gorica,
Yeah.
who has no real signings as of yet, but as we all know, these lower tier sides like Slaven, like Gorica, Rodeš even, they're gonna get signings done in the last week of the transfer window, where somebody who's not gotten picked up yet is gonna be like, yeah, fair, it's HNL, I'll get my
Mhm.
name thrown around if I do good. But yeah, they just Tsarevic has just been after both losses. He's just been like, guys, I just need players. Just give me players, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, and they will be. They've not. Gorica haven't been bad. I think
No,
particularly
they deserved a
against.
lot more against Lokomotiva.
Yeah, they create enough. You just sort of see they're still meshing.
Yeah,
And again, it's not similar to Saranic, but as a team, if they get a result, something to hold on to, again, they'll be absolutely fine. And they've got Hajduk this weekend, so they've got a good chance of that.
yeah,
Um, I mean, I think as say, obviously, we were exceptional. Amerivich has started the season where he was not last season, but the season before, in terms of being a really good attacking threat, and you just give him the ball, he runs with it, and is an immediate danger.
yeah,
And that's all you ever really needed him to be. So why no one told him to do that last season, I don't know.
yeah. So Istra is basically like Sopic's Rijeka 4-1-4-1,
Hmm.
and Vrbancic is that guy that's doing the Salahi dirty work, and so far he's doing an amazing job. I mean, it's these two games where your opponents are the two worst midfields and attacks in the league, but
Hmm.
he's done a decent job. But yeah, not to take away much from Osijek. I mean, you still need to score. You still need to actually perform, and they performed like that.
Hmm.
Those first 10 minutes, they ran Goris off the field, and that was enough to beat them.
Hmm.
And the Ruders, they they ran them off the league
Yeah.
essentially. But yeah, I don't expect much from Rudish. Like it's nobody did. They've signed Skoko on loan, so that's a good pickup. If he can get going, then he can be their star player. But it's not Skoko, still hasn't proven himself at this
Yeah.
level, not even close. But yeah, it's
In the old
not.
memes, it's our expectations were low, but holy shit.
Holy shit! Yeah, it's pretty much it's literally that watching that game. I was like, oh my god, Osijek's through again.
Yeah, and this is it. I mean, like you mentioned, they could not compete in midfield,
No,
and I mean, it wasn't even. Yeah, I think there'll probably people who will listen to this and be like, "Oh, all right, that means Osijek were better in midfield." No, Rudes could not compete. They were nowhere. It was like playing aside two tiers below.
yeah, pretty much. It literally looked. I mean, not even two. We're talking about Croatian football. The second tier is bad enough.
Yeah, but they did look like they'd just come off a shift at the wood mill.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, it was awful to watch. And even that, even against Rijeka, they were very bad. The result was very flattering
Hmm.
to them because Rogic did a lot of hard work and Rijeka did a lot of hard work, missing chances. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think the biggest way to tell how bad Rudej were was that there were two goals in the second half. There was what one, two, counting six substitutions in the second half. So we know it should be 30 seconds per substitution, a minute per goal is generally what you say. There was zero time added on. Even the ref was like, "We need to mercy kill these
yeah,
guys."
yeah. It's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much just Rudish. Yeah, we're gonna see Osijek how good they actually are against Lokomotiva because that is a very good matchup that I'm looking forward to.
Mhm.
Both sides. Lokomotiva still hasn't impressed me, even though they've won both games. They've done okay, but nothing of note yet.
Yeah, they certainly could have lost that Easter game.
And Gorica,
Because yeah, I mean, Easter Locomotive was basketball, really. That
yeah,
sort of end to end. And Goris like I said they had decent chances, and they just that little level down from them at the moment.
yeah,
But from Locomotive's perspective, actually, the real bonuses you've already got Maric scoring, you've got Vukovic contributing, you've got so the things that held them back last season have already shown themselves that
yeah.
they're
They've already
getting there.
started. Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
which is all
yeah,
we asked of them really before
yeah.
the season
We
started.
also I also forgot to mention Shkafa Juric's goal, which was
Yes.
given for offside, which even the commission was like, yeah, nah,
I,
should have held on to the decision on field.
I've always said there should be an artistic impression committee, which is that if a goal is enough of a banger, that they can just tell VAR to shut up.
Yeah,
And that definitely would have qualified for an artistic impression exemption by my eyes. I think by the eyes of everyone else. And obviously VAR got it wrong anyway. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. It was he was on such a roll. He was like made. He was just getting past, not non-stop.
Mhm.
Who's at right back for Lokomotiva?
For that game, it was his opposite man was Loba, who is a
Who?
midfielder. So that's what Marcel Loba is who's down on the
Oh
left,
yeah, yeah. It wasn't
who
Veshovic.
is a central
Veshovic was
midfielder.
yeah. Veshovic was. I was thinking it was Veshovic, but Veshovic wasn't didn't play in that first game. Yeah, Lorber was getting rinsed, which, as you said, not his position, not his role. So yeah, to be expected. Yeah, that first game, fantastic from him and Matija Subotic, who is now the captain of Lokomotiva at 18 years old, which is probably one of the youngest captains, like non-stop, like not just for a game. Here you go, just to get that record ticked off, like actual captain of the team. Which yeah, love him a lot. Was brilliant in the under 19 Euros, I
19s.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah, where we lost Spain in the final, which Spain absolutely dominated that tournament, and they are just on top at every level in international football. But yeah, that I like the look of Lokomotiva, as we said before. Very good side. They just need to get going, and Mirko Maric has already gotten an assist and in the goal, which yeah,
yeah.
they're
Um,
doing their work.
they are. Yeah. Obviously, the other uh, 100% side, who obviously touched on already, Varasine,
Yeah,
who thrashed Slaven Blipa this weekend.
yeah. Ivan Tanyuga. That's all I have to say so far for who has very unexpectedly become their main man so far this season. 4 games, 3 assists. I mean, just in that first 3 assists and 2 goals now. I mean, in that first game against Jablonec, we mentioned it on the last pod. Brilliant, like 2 balls, brilliant vision, brilliant weight on the passes, like just perfect. Last season he was okay. I don't remember much of him. I don't remember anything like of note that happened, but now
No.
has popped off and yeah, has kicked off. I mean, just overall, Waterstein, as we said, just a team that has kept together and everybody knows their role, everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and they look like that.
Yeah.
A well-oiled
Which
machine.
Yeah, which is obviously where Slaven aren't at the minute, and
Yeah,
where a rotated through necessity Hajduk aren't at the minute either. So as you say, I think in terms of sort of the headlines last year, it was really Lakovic and Mamic, but
and
again, having it,
Tavares.
yeah, having an extra contributor there, particularly one whose natural instinct is a little bit deeper as well,
Yeah,
really adds another level of balance to their midfield.
yeah. Especially when you have Mario next to him who can actually win balls, guys.
Yeah.
You see what happens when you actually have a perfectly balanced midfield of a ball winner, playmaker, and advanced playmaker with Latkovic and Mamic actually. Uh, things can happen. But it's actually crazy to me that we haven't had a net like a six, like just a six in general since Japper.
Mhm.
And
And
Japper,
even then, he wasn't really prominent for long before
yeah,
getting crocked.
no, no, like those few games where we had him fully healthy, Hajduk was could have won the league with ease. Well, not with ease, but could have won the league with a bit of a fight from Dinamo. But we would have won the league if he kept going. But Kranjcevic have ended their pitches. Yeah. Against Rudish as well.
Yeah.
Imagine your career ending against Rudish. The most well, we actually I think we scraped through that match, which
Yeah.
is pure Hajduk. But yeah. As we said, Slaven going through it, they need something to click. They need Nestorovsky scored the goal, which is perfectly descriptive of what I said in the preview podcast, where they have a lot of players who, if they hit form, are good, and Nestorovsky looks like the only one who can actually hit that form because he's the only one that hit the form in the last 2 seasons for them.
Yeah. I mean, Mitrovic had come through a little bit better last season, but I mean, even still, they need more than
Yeah,
two. They need more. They need more
yeah,
than two, and they're also not as aggressive in the midfield.
yeah.
I think it's the other difference. Well, there wasn't really as much protection there for the backline, which again, yeah, they were getting ripped apart, but also Strepelia, he's just now
He's alone.
32. He's alone, and also potentially starting to hit the downslope of his career as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, nothing else to say about Slaven. It's pretty much just either get another signing that like a star player. Somebody's mentioning me, a star player, or just somebody of quality for the league that can perform for you. Because right now it's just hoping somebody hits form. If not, it's rotation until somebody does.
um, and by October, it's probably we'll be fine. Rudez are that bad.
Yeah. When did they play Rudish? Because
Um,
that game is probably going to decide their season.
they play Rudez 19th of
Oh yeah,
September.
so just before the international break. So if you don't win that, it's like Gregorina bye bye, new manager comes in, and yeah, they're set.
Yeah, and just for the other ones, it's so one side of the break it's Rudez hosting Slaven, then the straight after it it's their Rudez away to Gorica. So yeah, there's your season decided, really at the
Yeah,
bottom. Um,
yeah,
the
uh,
only two sides we've not mentioned domestically are Dinamo and Rijeka because they only played one
yeah. They
game.
haven't played. They didn't play in the second round because of the UEFA Super Cup, because all the Champions League fixtures got moved to Tuesday, and obviously Dinamo played Rijeka play on Thursday. Dinamo play on
Mhm.
Tuesday, and there was no appropriate time. If you put it on Saturday, Rijeka only has 1 day to rest. Dinamo, if you put it on Sunday, Dinamo has 1 day to rest until the second leg.
I don't
So
think
yeah,
that would have mattered for Dinamo, to be fair.
yeah. Yeah. I think Kovacic said that they didn't ask for it, so that explains it.
Yeah,
But yeah, the federation basically said, yeah, there's not enough time. It's most likely going to be played in that first week after September, after the transfer window ends in Europe.
yeah.
So
It's sensible. There was reasonable notice, and it's not for a stupid reason, like because there's a Prodigy concert on 2 days before the derby. Um,
yeah, yeah. But yeah, Dinamo easily beat Slaven. They were just the better side, and you just saw how much Stojkovic brings to the side by just being active and being the main guy in the midfield, getting those balls to Belio to the wings, and yeah, he's continued on basically.
yeah, and say obviously Bellew
Belio
picking up
again.
where he left us off as well in terms of
A brilliant
scoring
first goal.
goals.
A
Yes,
brilliant first goal. Like that is what the instinct is amazing. So yeah, it's gonna be another season, guys. Get ready for it. Just Belio scoring, scoring, scoring. If you don't have him in your fantasy, why are we playing fantasy?
and yeah, sort of we mentioned Rudez, we mentioned Rijeka from that game, but I mean I think in each game they've had so far this season, it's just been tight, and that's just what they're going to be for now.
Yeah,
They've sort of moved. It's obvious they see Yankovic as if Fruit goes, then you're the guy.
Yeah.
But they're very solid. They're very unspectacular. They're very keck already. Um,
Already, yeah. It took no. Keck wasted no time. He already
no,
got them looking like the old Rijeka.
yeah, I mean, it helps. Obviously, they've brought in the new keeper
Yeah,
as well. In
Vekic.
why, yeah, Vekic, who name I do know. Um, um,
For somebody that
I
speaks
should know.
about, for somebody that makes obscure Slovenian football references, I'm ashamed. Every podcast we
It,
have two, at
yeah,
least
I
two.
mean, tick it off. I mean, I'm about to say, he was very good at Bravo. And I mean, to be honest, for that club, I think they have a very good reputation of bringing through keepers anyway.
Yeah,
Because it's obviously not just him as well. There's Yusuf Fish and a few others as well that have come through there in recent years. It's obviously done absolutely fine in moving to Denmark, and his time between Veria and Bravo as well. It's good. It's a good get. It's definitely an upgrade on what they had already. Probably not far off Zomisic in
yeah,
standard.
probably
I think maybe Zomisic is slightly the better shot stopper. Vekic is slightly better with
with
possession
his
wise,
feet. Yeah,
but that depends on how you want to play. And ultimately, you got the club managed by a guy who will know him very, very, very well,
yeah,
and I've seen him
yeah.
very up
He's
close.
been he's been in his squad for years. So
Yeah,
yeah, he knows him, and that's why he brought him in. So yeah, they're basically set. Yeah. Anything else to say? I mean, Rijeka, as we said, it's if Fruk goes, then you said Jankovic and probably need to make another signing just for depth reasons. And yeah, give the fight to Midtjylland because in a few seconds it's gonna be confirmed, but it's basically confirmed because they're leading by 3 goals with 20 seconds left.
yeah. I mean, it might be one where it's deadline day that it happens. Just
Yeah,
purely from the perspective that they don't really want Fruit to go, and he will be very handy to have in the playoff. Um, but I mean, that's obviously a question for them. If they've got a deal in motion already, they're not going to risk him.
yeah,
It's not like
uh,
Rangers reject getting 22 million for Chimiti, saying now we'll hold out for more, and then he injures his ACL 2 hours later. I suspect Miskovic will be a little bit more sensible than that.
yeah. But yeah, pretty much the Hajduk will play Rakov. It seems there's a few seconds left. Maybe there's a penalty for Rakov, so they're basically through in the last minute. They have a penalty to make it 2-0. So yeah, we got it right. Didn't need to cover Hammerby at all. But yeah, unless Hajduk loses and then all of this gets scrapped and we did this for nothing.
Yeah, but I'm sure like the two polls that listen will probably be really happy. I only mentioned our team. Hey. Um,
But yeah, yeah, pretty much it was fun. Want to make any changes to your prediction?
um, I think possibly from the first 2 weeks.
Osijek.
No, I don't want to.
they
I still want the
they
jury to be
can
out
they
on them.
can
Yeah,
they can still sell players, which is
they can still sell players, but at least I'm confident that they will have 6 more points at the end of the season than Rudez, at the very least. I think probably like you say from these first 2 weeks, you might say Osijek are a little better than we thought, but what have they beaten? I think Easter are a little better than we thought, but haven't got any results.
yeah
And Varazine are quite a bit better than we thought, um, but also it's probably a decent gap between them and the top three.
yeah
So there's not really much. I think I
yeah
predicted Lokomotiva fourth and Varazine fifth. I'd swap that round now, but you'll have already written down and will pull me up on it in May. So anyway, so what does it matter?
yeah. Literally, wait, we'll come back to this in May and be like Osijek third, Hajduk fifth, Rijeka second, Varazid third, fourth. Ruder somehow survived.
Yeah.
Gorica didn't bring in anybody they get relegated, but yeah. Uh, I mean, what
Garcia's
else?
still there and still with his name misspelled by illiterate Hajduk
Yeah,
fans.
Garcia go home with an S, which tells you a
Yeah.
lot about the Hajduk fans that are against Garcia that don't even know his name. Which, bravo, guys.
To be fair, I think if the Scottish press were writing about Hajduk, they'd probably still say Gattuso was manager. So,
Like we did for Rogers.
yeah,
Uh,
we're not taking the high ground here.
but yeah, anything else? Not really. I pretty much we've covered as much as could be covered in just over an hour. Now Hajduk
Until
is
you're ranting about 12 hours, that completely
probably.
supersedes everything we've done and
I
makes
probably
me
won't be able to
set my
sleep.
evening aside.
I probably won't be able to sleep if it happens again. I've come to accept every bad result. Like Varazin, I was like, fine, we missed a penalty. I more laughed at it, and then against Istra, same thing. We concede. I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
used to it.
But it doesn't matter if there's league phase football. I think that's the key thing. None of it matters
Yeah,
if
no,
it's Europe till Christmas.
yeah, no. Like we can afford to have a season like Rijeka last season, like just scrape by in the league to get Europe,
Hmm.
uh, finishing third or fourth, whatever. But having that money from the conference league, which boom, like you and plus it's Hajduk, so already you have some appeal to like former players or players from the region that
Hmm.
have some family that support the club, and then also you get the incentive of possibly playing in Europe again because
Yeah.
you've done it. But the interesting thing this time is which is what I noticed. So Hajduk obviously hasn't been in the playoff for the last 4 years. Last time under Domroskas against Villarreal. Before that, it was Everton
Hmm.
2017, then was Maccabi Tel Aviv, then Sloan Liberec, and in all those four that I vividly remember, all those playoffs that I vividly remember, and uh, I wasn't there for Villarreal, I was there for the other three. I guess Villarreal got COVID at the Vitoria Guimaraes game, uh, but this time around we're playing first at home. In all these previous playoffs, we played the second leg at home. So
Hmm.
listen, I'm just trying to put this out, and hopefully this changes the way Hajduk performs and
Yeah.
actually gets through.
Like I say, compared to the last two
And they will
chances,
play Rakov, confirmed now.
yeah, which is a much more achievable feat than Everton or Villarreal on paper. Never mind on the pitch. I mean, even probably more achievable than Maccabi were at that point. And obviously that was, yeah, we won't talk about how that one ended. But
That is the first time I ever cried at a football game. Just to and at the same night, obviously
sorry, I
same
shouldn't
night.
snigger.
Yeah, no. At the same night, West Ham lost to Astra fucking Gugu.
Oh yeah.
So I leave the stadium with my uncle, and I check my phone and I see West Ham got knocked out by Astra Gugu in the Europa League playoff. I'm like, fuck my life. 11 year, no, 10-year old. That was 2015, right? Maccabi Tel Aviv, I think it was 2015,
2016.
2016, same thing. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you, Richard, for this shorter episode than the preview, obviously,
It's all right.
and we'll see each other. We won't see each other in 2 weeks because you're gonna be gone.
I will be in Norway,
Yeah.
but I will no. Wait a minute. So I just had thought, wait a minute, Viking are in Stavanger, and I am definitely in Stavanger. But I think if I went to Stavanger, if I went to the game, I don't know which way around it is. Who's at home first?
It's Dinamo. Second leg is in Norway.
How much trouble? Again, put this in the comments. How much trouble does the listeners and viewers think that I would be in if I snuck off the little boat tour we have around Stavanger in the day, missed the cruise boat, went to Viking Dinamo, then like got an Uber from Stavanger to Geiranger, I think is the next stop in the fjords. That's probably quite a lot of money, isn't it? I think I'd be in a lot of trouble. But
No, no, no.
if my
You
kids are
just get
very annoying,
you get back on the cruise and you're like, oh my god, I finally found you. I've been looking for you guys for for
they pull
days.
out a port and they just see me behind rowing. Um, sorry, it went to penalties.
Yeah, I think you're not sleeping on. If that happens, you're not in the cruise anymore. You're
No.
thrown off. You're living in Norway now.
Well, I don't drink, so that's okay. I don't have to deal with their ridiculous prices for that, at least.
I don't know about their prices, thank God.
No, it's
'Cause,
something like it's like 15 euros a drink, something
oh, Jesus
stupid like that.
Christ. Oh, I'm just getting dizzy from hearing that. And I live in Dubrovnik, where the clubs are, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Well,
you got to pay the
during
tourist
my
tax.
yeah, during well, so they actually sometimes if you speak Croatian, they're like, oh, just give me this much.
It's this
Well,
like when the girls go to the bar, they get served first. You just order in Croatian, like,
yeah, pretty
hey,
much. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, he's ours.
slide
The
the
only
whiskey along the bar.
yeah, but yeah, that's why I only go out on all inclusive nights, where you buy a ticket and you're set, which
Yeah.
happens like 4 times a year, because they are really, they want to earn money, don't they, in Dubrovnik? But yeah, that's only during my uni year. Otherwise, I'm in the Bosniak area.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game is about to start. Thank you, and we'll see each other soon enough. Hopefully, Rijeka or Hajduk actually get through, and preferably both.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous if that does happen, because then we have two teams in the Conference League, one in the Champions League, hopefully. But either way, Dinamo is gonna get a good batch of points, whatever competition they're in.
Mhm.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah. Enjoy the next 90 minutes, and I hope everyone listens to this tomorrow, or don't enjoy the next 90 minutes, and no one ever has to listen to this at all.
Yeah, we're gonna find out in, well, I hope 90 minutes, because if it goes to extra
120
time,
in penalties.
if I have to wait until midnight to find out if we're gonna proceed through, Jesus Christ. But yeah, the game started. I'll see you when you get, hopefully survive, if you go to the game.
Yeah. I think I'll stay
Yeah,
on the boat. Bye bye.
yeah. Bye bye.